Welcome everyone to Conspiracy Cause, where we talk about conspiratorial things. We go deep down the rabbit hole, deep. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart: the shape of the Earth. Is the Earth a globe that circles around the sun in space, like mainstream science tells us and the NASA pictures show? Or is it a stationary, non-rotating plane, as I believe described in the Bible and ancient civilizations? I have on the program a man that's going to put to rest once and for all the shape of the Earth with the final experiment. His name is Will Duffy. I'm going to bring him on in a moment here. Mr. Duffy, how are you? Welcome.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, so welcome, man. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. Please, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself. Tell us all about this amazing thing you're planning, how it came to be, why you're doing it, what your position is. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, so my name's Will Duffy. I pastor a small church outside of Denver, Colorado called Agape Kingdom Fellowship. And going on almost 3 years now, I discovered through a friend of mine on Facebook that flat Earth is alive and well. And it's growing. People actually believe that we live on a flat Earth. And so that was the beginning of my journey. And I, at the time, believed we lived on a globe, and thought that it would be very easy to convince her, my flat Earth friend, that she was wrong and that we live on a globe, and then we could all move on. And she knew her stuff. She knew the globe better than I did, as I'm sure a lot of people know.
So it wasn't easy convincing her, right?
No. She's still not convinced.
Okay.
So yeah, she knew the globe better than I did, and she was ready for my arguments. She had well-reasoned responses to my arguments, and I was like, okay, I need to take a look at this. And by the way, most people in that situation would just ignore her at that point. They'd be like, I can't answer her questions, but whatever, she's crazy. I'm just going to move on. I'm not like that. I need to know the truth. I don't really care what the truth is. I just want to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down this rabbit hole. And so she gave me videos and links and articles and all kinds of stuff that I could digest. And I was like, wow, this is pretty deep. There's a lot of arguments going on here. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people making videos and finding anomalies and pictures and videos and things of that nature. And so I just kind of really dove in head first. And my personality is this. Ever since I was a kid, if somebody told me something wasn't possible or couldn't be done, that was my cue to begin. I like to take on big projects that people say can't be done and try to find a way. And so driving home from work one day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to settle this debate one way or the other. If it's flat, great. If it's a globe, great. I'm just going to settle it. So I didn't know how. I didn't even have a name for it yet, but I went home and told my wife, and she thought I was crazy, of course. And that really began the beginning of the final experiment. I came up with the name Final Experiment about 6 months ago and put together a website, started putting together videos, started to make a plan. And yeah, that's kind of where things stand. And so I do believe strongly that Antarctica holds the key to what we truly live on, whether it's a flat plane or a sphere. And both sides agree on that. That's something that I had found in my research. And I was like, hey, if both sides agree, let's do this together. So I created the final experiment. It will be conducted by both sides together, assuming both sides agree to participate. And we're going to go down to Antarctica in December this year, which is the southern summer. And we're going to see if there is a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun. And if there is, I believe I can show, and a lot of other people can show, that means we do live on a globe. And if there's not a 24-hour sun, if the sun is not visible in the sky all 24 hours of each day while we're there.
It has to be visible, not just sunlight.
Yes,
It
yes,
it can't go behind you, right?
that's
Stay in
right.
front, bank right in front of you. You're going to concede. You're going to concede and come to the right side, the
Yes,
the
I
the,
will.
the correct side,
Yeah,
right?
yes. I'm saying this as often as I can. If that sun doesn't go behind me, meaning to the south, because we'll be as far south as we can get, and if it doesn't do circles and it actually disappears and it's not visible in the sky for any amount of time, I will become a flat earther immediately.
Now, do you think there's any way to fake this? Because I know a lot of flat earthers. Some of them are saying, "Oh, they have an artificial sun now. They could put up, or they could block the clouds to prevent you from doing this, or they can cancel your trip. They can put a wrench into it." What do you think about that?
Yeah, so faking the sun is going to be difficult. The more difficult piece is who is going to fake the sun for our small group on our dates at our tiny location in Antarctica. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. We do have things planned for this. So this is the first time. So you're lucky that I'm saying this for the first time publicly. We have other people that will be in Antarctica in different places at the same time. And the purpose of that is to make sure that there is not a fake sun. So we have people that are going to be traveling from
When
uh,
you mean people, you mean proponents on both sides, or friends of yours, of what do you mean?
neither, neither. Uh,
Unbiased individuals?
there's no such thing as an unbiased individual, by the way. Everybody has a position on the shape of the earth. What I'm saying is this: we are going to have people that are traveling to Antarctica that are going to be south of New Zealand. We have people that are going to be there that are south of Africa. And so we are going to be covering all of Antarctica, which is a very large distance on the flat Earth map, obviously, way larger than on the globe. And they're going to be documenting and recording to see if there's a 24-hour sun there as well. And so,
Excellent.
yes, yes.
I was wondering what kind of um, stipulations you'll put in place for the experiment. Is it just going to be like one spot or different spots? What kind of equipment you're going to be using? What are some of the specifics? Can you tell me anything more? Any new
Yeah,
information?
yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. A trip like this takes many months in advance to plan. We are still over 6 months out. We will land in Antarctica on December 14th. But there's still a lot of work to do. So I'm still looking at cameras, which cameras will be able to function at colder temperatures, how I'm going to power them. But the
Hmm.
plan is we're definitely going to be using 360-degree cameras,
Okay.
which is going to be important. We're going to try to get some unedited video as long as we can. And we're going to try to do some live streaming as well,
Oh wow, this will be live streamed.
if we can.
Now,
So,
where will this be live streamed if you can? On your
so
channel?
well, we haven't thought that far in advance yet, but we have to figure out if Starlink is going to be accessible to us where we will be. Starlink is accessible in Antarctica. I do know that, but we need to make sure it's going to be accessible to where we will be, and then we will do our best to live stream. As to the channel, not sure yet. We are paying for one flat earther and one globe earther to go to Antarctica. That is because previous experiments that have been suggested in the past left the funding up to the participants, and it just died, dead in the water, never made any traction. And I said, okay, we'll all learn from that mistake. So I'm paying for them out of my own pocket. And I think it would be great if we live streamed on both of their channels, whoever those people end up being.
Excellent. That's a great idea. And you don't know who they are yet, right? Well, I know you. I've seen your website, and I'll let you plug everything at the end. But I've seen your website, and I know you have some individuals in mind, and I know them all. I watch them all. I know them all. I know you
Great.
have some in mind. I think David Weiss is the leading one
Yes. So we
for
released,
Flatter.
yeah, we released a video on our YouTube channel, which is called The Final Experiment, yesterday, stating that Dave Weiss, Flat Earth Dave, won our poll and has declined the free trip to Antarctica.
He declined.
He has declined, yeah. So next in line is Jaron of Jaronism, Jaron Campanella.
Hmm.
He and I are in communication. I'll be releasing a video about him over in the next few days. He's made a request of me, and I'm going to go ahead and honor his request. And so the video will be about his request. He has not agreed to go yet, but he's asked me to do something in order to entertain going, which I will do. And then
I
I will
think I
be,
know the request.
What do you
Can we
think it is?
talk about the request?
I'm not willing to say what
Okay,
it is yet, because it's been only private communication. So,
gotcha.
but we're going to be releasing a video today on the Globe side announcing who won that poll and whether or not he has agreed to go to Antarctica.
On the globe, okay, and so that's for Jaron.
No, so
For the globe, a globe proponent.
yes. So David Weiss won the flat Earth poll and has declined. So we've moved down to Jaron.
So you're waiting for Jaron. Okay.
Now today, later on in a few hours, we're going to be releasing a video on our Globe poll. And so Dave McKeegan won that poll. And we're going to be announcing later today whether or not he has accepted the free trip to Antarctica.
Is he from Fight the Flat Earth?
He's not.
Which channel is he from?
His channel's called Dave McKeegan. He's
Gotcha.
the guy that sits with his dog, Rusty.
Okay, I have seen some of his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big glober. He'd be a great choice. Big base.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where things stand. This is very exciting.
Yep. And you say you're paying for their expenses. Now, are you paying for everything? Because I know I've looked into it a little bit. You and I have had some communication. I know that just getting out there, and I think just getting the plane tickets and just the basics necessities is in excess of $30K.
Yep, that's right.
And so is that it, or is there more involved?
There will be more expenses. So
is that covered by you?
That is covered by me for the 2 participants. That's correct.
Really? Yep. So everything, they won't spend a dime.
They will not spend a dime unless they want to spend their own money on something. No, this is all expenses covered. Here's why, by the way. We want this to be the final experiment, and so we're taking all excuses off the table.
I love it, man.
Me too.
I love it. No, okay, to your knowledge, Will, has anyone even come close to doing anything like this? And I mean just even the experiment with the 24-hour sun. Do you believe there's proof out there, non-disputable proof, that we have recorded a 24-hour sun in the sky without anything being doctored or manipulated? Do you think there's proof currently?
I have seen videos of the 24-hour sun that have no edits in them.
You have?
So, correct, I have. Yeah, I've seen 2.
Okay. And so, I have not seen any that have not had any edits in them. Okay. And in fact, I believe they have come out to say that they cannot get a 24-hour. The official notice from Antarctica, the company that actually does the 24-hour, that does the recording, they can't give a live feed because of the bandwidth. Have you gone to that? And that's, if you go to their site, they will not give you a 24-hour live feed. Is that true?
That sounds accurate to me.
Why? Why?
A 24-hour live feed every single day from Antarctica sounds very difficult to me.
Very difficult. So I mean, that's all anybody ever. Why do we even want to see the live feed if it's not for 24 hours? Why even have it? Why would we want to even see that?
Sure. Well, number one, I don't believe they create the live feed for flat earthers. So I don't know why they create it. It could be just because it's cool. Most people, like 99.999999999% of people will never visit Antarctica in their life. But I will tell you this. So hopefully your listeners understand this, but the flat Earth model has no issues with a 24-hour sun in the north.
Correct. And neither does the globe or
That's
flat
right.
Earth. Right.
Now I'm going to tell you something, and this might be a surprise to you, is that a lot of people, including Flat Earth Dave, like to state that there are thousands of videos of the 24-hour sun in the north, and that is false. There's only a handful. And if you go look, and you might wonder why, because people actually live there. People live there. They don't even have to travel there to see the 24-hour sun. The reason there's not more videos is because it's incredibly hard to do. Trying to get a camera that moves at the same speed as the sun is moving through the sky, that is powered without dying for an entire 24 hours, very difficult. So
couldn't you have them manned? Couldn't you have them manned for just 24 hours for like a quick experiment?
Well, sure, but again, no one really cares to do that, and so they haven't done it. That's my point.
So,
People,
so when Dave says there's thousands of them, he's lying about that.
I don't want to say he's lying. Lying implies motive. I want to say he probably assumes there are, and maybe he's heard from somebody that there are that he trusts. But if you go look, actual videos, uncut videos of the 24-hour sun in the north, I can only find 3 or 4.
3 or 4
That's it.
in
Yeah.
the north. Okay, so the north, the elements, the weather elements in the north are drastically different than the south. So what
They
would the excuse be for that? Because I mean, it doesn't get as cold there, right? The excuse is not the same for Antarctica. Why, if that's the case, and there aren't hundreds and thousands of videos, why in the north? What is there in the north?
I would say the answer is no one cares, number one. And number two, it's very difficult. You need the right gear. And number three, people like to sleep. So that's again, I'm not making any arguments.
People
I'm just
care
saying,
now. Obviously, people care a lot nowadays.
yeah, for sure. I'm just saying if you go look, it's fascinating that there's only 3 or 4 videos where you see the sun do a full 360 on video.
Okay, so you're saying the north, both video in the north and the south are approximately 2 or 3 videos that prove that the sun rotates in both hemispheres.
There's actually around 5 or 6 in the south. So there's actually more.
There's more in the south. Okay.
Yeah. Now 2 of them.
Have you posted those videos? Because I haven't seen them. I'd love to see them. Have you posted a link maybe somewhere?
I haven't, but I will tell you where they are right now.
Please.
The 2 that most people talk about are, the first one is Anthony Powell. He's a documentary filmmaker. He made the film Antarctica: A Year on Ice. And he's standing on a building and he shows his watch and he says it's just past 12 o'clock. And then he says midnight. And then he shows a video of the 24-hour sun. Now that one has a looped cloud at the beginning and the end. And so flat earthers have made a big deal about that.
Why is there a loop cloud? Why would there be any looping at all in a 24-hour video?
It's a great question. And I will tell you what Anthony Powell says. And again, we're going to go to Antarctica to figure out the truth, but I'll tell you what he says. As a videographer, if you're going to try to make a circle, which is a very interesting video technique that you don't normally do, which is a full circle, if you can't make the beginning and the end look the same, it's going to look weird. And so they did it for aesthetic purposes, according to him. Okay. Now, the second video that flat earthers talk about, which is also done by Anthony Powell, has a watch, and the watch shows the time as the sun goes around.
I've heard Austin Whitsitt reference that as well. That's the one where they actually came out to say that they've agreed. They've came out to say that it was edited and doctored.
I haven't seen that, but I will tell you what Austin and others say. In that video, there are the cardinal directions put on the screen in letters: north, south, east, west. And I believe that's the claim that's being made of the doctoring, is adding words to the video, which is not a good argument in my mind. For example, I added these letters here, but that doesn't. So anyway, that's the argument on that one. Now let me give you the 2 that I've seen that I can't find any edits on, that I don't see the flat earth community talk about. The first one is on a channel called Wolfie 6020. Do you know that name?
I've heard of that name.
Yeah, Wolfie is WOLFIE 6020. Now he's important because he's actually one of the official 24 globe earthers that we invited to participate in the final experiment, and he has participated. So he's on our scoreboard. The score is currently 4-0 on the globe side.
Wait a minute. This is going to be 1 for me for flat Earth, right?
Here's the issue.
I'm a flat earther.
Yes, you are. Here's the issue. The scoreboard itself is only for the 24 participants on each side.
So
but
they need to interview you.
Yes, but we're working right now. It's hard being a one-man show. We're working right now to add another page to our website to link to interviews like this of anybody, flat earth and globe side, and show what side they're on. So it's coming.
Okay, good, because I want to be counted.
For sure. But Wolfie 6020, he's an international pilot. He's been a pilot for over 40 years. He got on the scoreboard by making a suggestion to make the final experiment a more robust experiment. He's actually going to be donating 2 GPS units, one for the flat Earth participant, one for the globe Earth participant, to take on the plane so that we can track the GPS location along the entire route.
Oh, wow.
But he has a video on his channel, which is where I first saw it.
So people will be monitoring this as well, like part of the live feed. Is that what it'll be used for?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't exactly know what we're going to do with it, but here's the deal. We want to make sure both sides are comfortable with everything. And so we're going to give these GPS units to the participants so that they both can track where we are and which location, which direction we travel, etc. Does that make sense?
Right. So you always know where you are.
Yeah, that's right.
This accountability.
Yeah, the purpose of these suggestions is to make sure that we're eliminating problems and potential arguments ahead of time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so if anybody thinks the other side is going to manipulate the experiment or cheat or hide something or lie or whatever, we're going to come up with these ideas ahead of time to make sure that doesn't happen. That's the purpose.
Okay. So when are you going to have a list of all of your equipment that you're going to be using for everyone to see the particulars of the experiment, what you'll be doing, which days, like your itinerary? Will you have an itinerary for everyone before you get out there?
Yes, we already have that.
Can we see that?
Sure. So I'll tell you what it is right now because it's very simple. Okay. We're going to Union Glacier. So
Yeah.
you can look up Union Glacier to see where that is. It's south of South America. And we are going to land in Antarctica on December 14th, and we're going to depart on December 18th. And we will be in Union Glacier the entire time. So that's 5 days. We haven't announced this publicly yet either, but we're actually going to be taking a scenic flight over Antarctica while we're there. So I don't know what day it is, maybe the second or the third or the fourth day. We're actually all going to be getting on a plane, and they're going to be taking us, across the beautiful Ellsworth Mountains so we can see Antarctica from the sky.
Wow.
By the way,
that should put it all to rest.
Yeah.
And so you're not having is that plane ride, like a freely explorable plane ride, or is that in accordance and guidance? Because there's a lot of military presence out there.
Yeah.
Right? So there must be just certain areas you can go to.
That I can't tell you.
Do you know yet? Do you know? Do you know where you can go and where you can't go?
No. Number one, none of us are going to be pilots down there. And so I'd have to talk to the pilot to figure out if there's places we can go or not go, but I'm more than happy to do that. But by the way, the video on Wolfie 6020's channel is called "What Does the Sun Do at the South Pole?" Okay,
we got that.
And so go ahead and check that one out. And then the other one I want people to look at is made by Anthony Powell. And it's 8K, and it's a 360-degree camera.
That's with the edits in the beginning and end.
It is not. This is a video that I have not heard a flat earther talk about.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna look at that too.
It's pretty easy. You just YouTube Anthony Powell 8K, and it should come right up.
Okay, I'm going to throw a hypothetical question at you, Will, and then I'll let you go because I know you're a busy man. You got places to go.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm going to throw something at you. This is my personal belief. Conspiracy causes personal belief. You could take it to the bank. I believe this deception is so great that fine, they may allow you to go out there, maybe. But something is going to happen. And I'm not saying your lives are all on the line. I hope not. Something is going to happen to prevent you from doing what you're going to be doing. Something. Either, do you believe that they can cloud area with the planes?
What do you mean by cloud?
Chemtrails. Do you believe in that at all? Is that something out of this topic?
I've not looked into that. If they create clouds in Antarctica, that would help the flat Earth side.
Okay, that is what I'm getting at. I think this conspiracy is so great that there's no way they could ever allow that information to come back like this, that there is not a 24-hour sun. It would blow that lie out of the water. They could never allow that. And when I mean they, I mean the system, the powers that are ruling this, the upper echelon of society. They would never allow it. So, I mean, you're going to go out there and I'm sure you're going to have a great experience. You're going to have something to talk about. But there's going to be something to prevent you from seeing what you need to see or doing what you need to do. What have you say about that?
I think it's a fantastic prediction. And I will tell you this, I will give way more credence to your position if that happens. You're making the prediction. There's nothing there's no inside information you could have to know that that's going to happen. So if your prediction comes true, there's something to what you're saying 100%.
Will you come back on my show and
Yeah.
give your summary of what's happened and everything else?
Absolutely.
You promise?
Would love to. Yeah. I'll also film everything that happens while we're down there.
Well, I think you're a good guy. I know there's a lot of people that don't like you on the flat earth side, but I'm not one of them. I can't dislike you. You're a likable guy. I think what you're doing is from your heart. I don't believe you're affiliated with, I hope you're not affiliated with any of the powers that we're talking about. I don't think you are.
Nope.
I mean, I've seen some of your stuff in the past. You have YouTube videos going 3-4 years back. You know, I know you're a pastor. I know you've done some insurance work. You seem like a reputable guy. So I wish you all the best. I'm pulling for you. I'm not pulling for the globe side. I'm pulling for you, and success to you. Where can people find you, man? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. So our website's a little confusing. It's thefinalexperiment.com, but there's hyphens between the words. So the-final-experiment.com. Maybe you can link to it in the description. That's the best place to start. It's got a countdown for when we go to Antarctica. It's got the current scoreboard. It's got a link for the participants who have participated. And then it's got a link to our YouTube channel. And then you can also contact me through that website. If you contact me through the website, I'll respond. I respond to every email. You'll have my email. And we can communicate that way. So
yeah, and you are fantastic at communicating through email.
Appreciate it.
All the best to you, Mr. Will Duffy.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And there you have it, folks. Is the Earth a globe or is it not? We're going to find out, hopefully. I wish them all the best. I hope that my prediction is not the case, that we are able to find out we're able to find out the true shape of the Earth and put it all to rest and just be a better society because of it. Until then, Conspiracy Cause signing out. Remember, say your prayers and eat your vitamins. God bless you all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.